Hey, we're back. We are back, and we are getting through these videos. I'm hoping that you've had an opportunity to, to watch all of the videos that I've had on this 16 video series. Who's Your Baggage? Releasing the Dead Weight. Some great content out there. Definitely want you to check it out. My goal is I'm not here to change your mind. I only want to offer you another perspective. That's it. That is it. And so we're going to continue talking about releasing the dead weight. Today, we're talking about releasing the dead weight of stress. Stress is inevitable. Stress is going to occur. Stress happens to all of us, whether life is great, whether life is sour. Stress happens. And so what I want to talk about is I'm talking about the stress that holds us down and keeps us from moving forward. And that's making us sick. Stress does make you sick, and stress can have a severe impact on your mental health, your overall health. And so I'm hoping that there's some nuggets in here that help you to develop a coping mechanism, not to cope with stress, but to cope with the decision of moving forward and moving out of that stressful situation. So, stress in its simplest form is a state of worry. We are worrying about things that have happened. We are worrying about things that are happening, and we are worrying about things that haven't even happened yet. So we can find ourselves in any of those tiers of stress. Either way, it's there. Now, how you manage it and how you handle it and how you move forward from it really determines if you're carrying the baggage or not, because those things will happen, things will come, and then you'll just say, hey, you know what? I can't do anything about it. So let me just focus on the now, and whatever I can control in the now, that's what I'm going to focus on. So here's some things that just a couple of things, because there can be a whole barrage of things that we can stress over. So, life changes. So life change can be the birth of a child. It can be the death of a family member, or the death of a relationship, whether it's through a breakup or divorce. That can cause stress. There are some things that come with that, because then it's attacking the emotional part of us. It's the wonder what ifs and whys, and all these questions that we tend to ask ourselves when things happen. Stress can happen as a result of illness. Unfortunately, people, if we ourselves are diagnosed with an illness, or someone, a loved one, is diagnosed with an illness, and then that impacts our lives, whether we have to move or travel or take care of a loved one, that can bring on some stress. And then there's finances, that's always a big one, finances. And then perfectionism. I was having a conversation with someone, probably a couple of weeks ago. We were talking about this, and everything just had to be, I got to make it this way. I got to do this. And I remember saying to the person, I'm like, man, you are stressing yourself out trying to be perfect. And I'm like, but they were like, no, I'm not. No, like you are. When you're trying to be perfect, it's really not the measure that you're trying to live up to yourself. It's that perfectionism is for the praise and what others will say about the work that you're doing. Because we all love to be praised, we love to be commended, we love to be recognized, and that is all good. But we have to desire it in healthy doses. It has to have healthy doses. So even those of you who think that you're not stressing over perfectionism, you're stressing yourself out over being perfect. And then of course, relationship problems. And so many of us know, and sometimes we don't even pay attention to it, especially we as women, because we will sweep away the stress that we're going through, and just say it's, because I haven't been sleeping, or I've been running with the kids, or we're doing this, or we got this going on, and we can minimize and minimize and minimize. And a lot of times, especially with us women, it's not until it's too late, or we've kind of gone down this really severe rabbit hole, where we have to try to dig ourselves out, because we've been stressing over things and we've just been washing it away. And so we'll minimize, a headache, or we'll minimize a backache. Do you know that we'll even minimize? I learned something this year. We'll minimize dehydration. Like, dehydration brings on certain symptoms. And why am I not drinking enough fluids? What am I doing that's causing me not to even take the time? So I had to kind of like back myself up on something as simple as dehydration, because that leads to so many other things. So, you can have a loss of appetite, chest and muscle pains, panic attacks, loss of sleep. All of these things we minimize, especially the loss of sleep one, because we'll say loss of sleep because, if you've been running all day, then you get to bed late and then you have to get up early and you do that a couple of times. We're putting our body in a stress form. So I'm going to share something with you now. I am not a medical doctor and I am not a therapist. So I just want to clear this up. I'm just talking to you about an experience of mine and how I was able to navigate through the stress in my life. Prior to me writing my book, The Life Diet 365, Life, Liberty, and the Pursuit of You, you can find that on Amazon or my website, bestraightup.com. I was hitting a brick wall. Like, I knew I was, and you can also check out my TEDx, The Gift of No. And I was hitting this brick wall, and I found myself like I was going at people like I had 5 boxing gloves on, just knocking, like. And I sat in my office one day, and I was saying, you know what? Why am I acting like this? What is wrong with me? And one day, a friend of mine who I work with, who was also going through something, and I don't know how I stumbled across this, but I came across something called adrenal fatigue. And adrenal fatigue, ADRENAL, is where our adrenals, which, two little things that sits on the end of our kidneys, that's where it releases like the cortisol for fight or flight. And so that's how our bodies are protected during fight or flight, during high stress situations. Like, our body goes into like this just protective mode, and it releases things to just kind of keep us going. Well, if you stay in that state longer than necessary, your adrenals get tired and they get fatigued, and all type of symptoms. And so when I found this symptom, I found the symptoms. I said, hey, man, it was like 10 listed, and I think I had like 4. And I was like, whoa, I need to figure something out about this. And so I found this supplement. It's by a brand called Gaia, GAIA. It's called Adrenal Support, Adrenal Fatigue. It's actually called Adrenal Fatigue. And I noticed when I take that, or when I took it, like within 3 days, I felt different. Like, I felt better. I can't even begin to tell you what it was that it actually did, but I can tell the difference. So I actually keep that as a part of a regular regimen. So if I feel myself hitting those stress points, and that's the key, we've got to know our bodies. We've got to pay attention. When I know those stress points, then I start taking it. I might do it for like 5 days, and then boom, I feel so much better. And so we kind of brush those things away, and we don't attribute it to stress. And so what I want to encourage you to do is, I want you to do something when you feel a headache coming on. Sometimes headache is just something simple, just a tension headache. It could be hunger, it could be traffic, it could be your coworker, it could even be your spouse, not my spouse. Just say, okay, what recently happened? What happened to me, or what is happening to me that may be causing this headache? And then you may need to say, you know what, is it something that I can change? Is it something I can do anything about? Now, a hunger headache, you can eat for that, take an Advil or something and just kind of be done with it, and then you kind of go on. But if it's something that's chronically happening with your body, you are not sleeping, your eyes jumping, this whole stomach thing, you have to say, what is going on in my life? How do I, I'm trying to find the word. How do I navigate through this? That's what I'm trying to find. How do I navigate through this? And so there's some help. There's some things that you can do to try to work through stressful situations, especially things I mentioned, like life changes and illnesses. Many illnesses that come upon us. So like if my doctor tells me that I have to go on high blood pressure medicine, or cholesterol medicine, or diabetes, like, I am freaking out. I'm like, oh no, I'm not taking any medicines. Like, I'm just not doing that. So then I'll think, what's my diet? What are my eating habits? And so I can change that. Some of these things we can change. But journaling. Journaling can help you get all the thoughts out because it helps get it out of your head. Journal your thoughts. Definitely stay connected, like with your family and friends, because it's when we isolate ourselves, that's when it can get worse, because we need to have someone to talk to, someone to kind of bounce things off of. So find those people that you trust, find that community that you trust, and just say, hey, this is what I'm experiencing. Because a lot of times when you talk to people, they can help you through some things. A lot of times we want to try to go through stuff by ourselves because, like, I don't want nobody to know my business. I don't, man, quit all of that. If it comes down to saving your life, you need to find some connection. Practice mindfulness. Like, be in the moment. Try not to stay in the past. Try not to get too far in the future. Stay in the moment and say, where am I? What is happening right here? And then, as I ask in every video, how is this serving me? How is this serving me? Is this serving me right now? Feeling this way, having this anxiety, having all the, is it serving me? No. And if it's not serving you, then find the things that can serve you. So, like I said, journaling or practicing mindfulness are things that can assist. And you can, seek therapy if you definitely need to get some therapy on this, and your therapist can help you navigate. I just want to give you some tools and nuggets. Get that stuff off your back. Get that monkey off your back. And then avoid vices that are harmful or addictive. I know that it's easy, and I'm not here judging anybody, but I know that it can be easy to just say, you know what, I'm just going to have a glass of wine to wind down. I'm going to have a beer. I'm going to, smoke something to kind of just get me wound down. But if you are continuously telling your body and your system and your brain and your neurons and all those things, I need some help in order to get to this point without finding healthy coping mechanism, it can lead to something that is very addictive. And so just want to kind of give you some nuggets and things to kind of push through, so that, because I don't want anyone to go another day, another month, or another year having these struggles when you can use these tools. I want to encourage you to do journaling. I want to encourage you to get that circle of friends and go out and do walks and painting or something like that. So hopefully you've gotten something out of this. Definitely want you to like, subscribe, hit that bell so that you'll get notifications when new videos come. And then I'm asking you to share with at least 5 to 10 people because I am attempting to grow my channel, and I don't want anyone to miss any of the good stuff that I have to say, because I feel like I have some good stuff I'm talking about. So you can find me on social media platforms and visit me on my website at bestraightup.com. And I'm looking for you to put some comments in there. Let's get a dialogue going, because something you say may help someone. Something I say may not help them at all, but one of your comments, being transparent, may help someone to navigate. So hopefully you enjoyed this, and definitely are watching the other videos, and I'm looking forward to hearing from you. So take care. Bye-bye.